just less than 2 years ago, I was almost 300 pounds. I was in high school. I had worse than a 2.2 GPA. That's what I ended up graduating with. I had no social skills to little, and I never thought I would change. But I'm not special. I just learned how to rewire my brain and the way I think, and that's how I changed who I was. So how can you rewire your brain? It's attainable for anyone. Now I have some notes here. I'm gonna keep looking down occasionally. That's why. But the brain can rewire itself. Habits and mindset are all attainable. So one of the ways that you could start rewiring your brain is just simple things. Laying out gym clothes in the morning. Oh, I have to go to the gym. Maybe write a list of things that you need to get done throughout the day. One thing I struggle with rewriting my brain is staying consistent. If you look back, the last time I posted a video was before I was even in college. So that's one thing I struggle with, is staying consistent and staying on top of things. So that's one way I'm personally working on rewriting my brain myself. So if action does not match your brain, like if what you want in life and you're not doing it, if what you want is not matching what you're doing, you're going to feel discomfort. And me right now, that's why I'm making this YouTube video, is because I'm thinking of all these good thoughts that I'm writing down and stuff. What if I don't share it with another person? What if there's somebody out there who really needs to hear what I'm saying, and I have the capability to do something like that, but I'm just being lazy enough and not doing it? So that makes me feel uncomfortable. I put that down in my notes. I would like to stress that a lot. So if you don't take action, that's why I have a big fear of that I'm gonna feel regret. I don't wanna look back on my life when I'm in my 40s or even 30s and be like, damn, I wish I would've went harder in my 20s. I wish I would've started making YouTube videos. I wish I would've dove deeper into psychology and psychological research. I don't want to do those things. So my brain is just subconsciously making myself uncomfortable because I know deep down in my conscious that that's not what I want. So your action needs to match your brain to be comfortable. Like for example, here's another example that I wrote down in my notes. If you're fat and you start to work out, your brain's gonna fight the change. Your brain's gonna want to fight the change of you. You're gonna still think, oh, I'm fat. So your brain's not gonna want to fight that change. It's either gonna go that route, or you're gonna adjust your self-image completely, and you're gonna start thinking of yourself more highly. That's what I did essentially. I would post stuff on Instagram. If you go look at my personal Instagram account, you could see stories from back when I was still rather fat. When I had actually got comfortable with posting my physique, I would kind of fake it till you make it, as they say. So I would post these things as if I was already a bodybuilder, as if I was already Mr. Olympia. Now, that's not my goal per se anymore, is to become an Olympian. It's more just to help the world and spread a message is more of my point now, but that could be an example for that. So who you want to be, just be whoever you want to be. Be that person before you even see results. For example, let's say this video, realistically, it might not get a lot of views, but I will try my best in any way, whether it be the editing, which I'm not too technologically savvy, whether that be the notes that I provided, whether that be how I'm presenting the video. I'm trying to do with the best of my capabilities as if I already had a mass following before I even have the results. So that way in the future, I could potentially, already be almost prepared for it. But not even just that, it's gonna almost manifest that idea, if you will. And the more you envision something in your brain, the more likely it's gonna happen. That's the simple law of attraction. The law of attraction is very, very important in life overall. I would say the law of attraction is a real thing. Use it to your advantage. I will make a separate video on that at some point, probably. Control your habits. So me, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I started vaping and shit again, all that. Have a bad time, me personally, of controlling my habits. But one way that we can control our habits is, even like I said earlier in the video, making a list, things like that. If you just get into the habit of, okay, I wake up, I take a shower, I do all my skincare routine, do your hair, whatever you got to do. I go to class, I go to work, whatever. And then right after that, I come back. And for me personally, let's say I do some psychological research on various topics that I'm trying to get more deeper into. And then after that, I could go, boom, go eat. And then boom, right after that, let's come study for 30 more minutes. Boom, right after that, take a little break, go to the gym, and get into the habit of doing that every day. So essentially, if you just control your habits, you're going to do great. But one way that you can help control your habits, so there is psychological theories. This has been proven. It's one of the most basic research evidence that we have, but your brain does focus on reward and punishment. So I wouldn't necessarily say punish yourself for not having good habits, which, I mean, if you want to try that out, go ahead, be my guest. Who am I to tell you what to do? But I would try to reward yourself, not necessarily with junk food or, oh, let's go get drunk. I mean, still live your life and whatnot, but don't necessarily reward yourself with those types of things. Reward yourself with a more positive, quick dopamine release. For example, a good hard way of doing all that is you could be studying for a test, studying, and you're like, damn, man, I'm really studying my ass off. This shit sucks. But when you have the best grade in the class, or not even that, your GPA just shoots through the roof. Trust me, from personal experience, right now when my grades are kind of mid because my professors are slacking a little bit, bro, I'm just saying that when I went from a 2.2 and to having the GPA that I currently have, it is an amazing feeling. So that could be an example of, that would be more of an example of long-term dopamine, but some quick dopamine that you could release. Dude, reward yourself with going to the gym. To me, in my eyes, personally, I look at that as a reward. One of my best friends, dude, he's disabled, bro. He can't even walk, and he still goes to the gym. And I know think about it like that. Think about that. There's people out there that wish they could work out. So look at things like that as a reward. Look at even hanging out with some friends, I like to go hang out with my fraternity brothers. Look at things of that nature as a reward. So always try to provide good and real dopamine. So when neuroplasticity changes, you are going to change as well. So what that means is basically when you change and you rewire the way that your brain thinks, you're going to change who you are. When I was fat and obese, I thought I'm going to be jacked and I'm going to change my life. And that's what I'm currently still working on doing day by day, and I will achieve that goal. So how did I start? It all started with a thought. Same thing with this YouTube channel, same thing with me posting after not posting in a long time. All started with a thought. So what do you need after you take thought? A thought will always remain a thought until you take action. So what we need to do, guys, is whenever you're having a great thought in your mind, always take action. You could be the next Elon Musk. You could be whoever. You never know in life. That's what's crazy to think. So really just take any chance you have. Really go hard. Really strive. Try to become the best man or woman you could be. Strive in all your relations. Try to strive academically. And just set up good habits to do these things. That's really the main point, is your habits are going to change who you are. And not only your habits, but the neuroplasticity of your brain is going to change who you are, the way that you view yourself and your self-image. Try to look at yourself as a higher standard. Don't necessarily think that you're better than people, or don't become arrogant about it, but almost hold yourself to not necessarily a higher standard, but hold yourself to a higher standard, not to other people, if that makes sense. And in other words, look at yourself highly. Like me, I have a hard time with me thinking that I'm not smart. Now, I'm not necessarily stupid. I might just be ignorant on the topic. Everybody that starts out with something, for example, even Sigmund Freud, the greatest student psychology, for most people say, he's technically, theoretically, if you think about it, this dude started off ignorant on psychology because he was not born knowing all that. He had to figure it out. So it's more of a just gradual, day by day thing, step by step. There's no elevator to success, bro. You got to take the stairs, bro. Step by step, bro. Even if that means just barely picking up your foot. Even if that means just me making this first YouTube video, me going to the gym, me studying, me doing more research. Just try to do whatever you can that's going to not only benefit you, but try to benefit your other people, man. We're here as a human race to help each other, no matter the gender, no matter the ethnicity, no matter any of that. It doesn't matter. We're all here as one, so we should all try to look out for each other. That's just mine. So change your self-identity. Master your habits. Use powerful cues like bringing out your gym clothes. Writing a list, things of that nature. No distractions. All right, so I'm going to go on to this. No distractions. There can be a lot of different distractions. Like I said, reward yourself by hanging out with your friends, for example, but be careful who you are friends with. You are who you hang out around. Think you're your best 5 friends in your life, and that's probably who you're most likely going to end up like. So for me, I would like to think I'm a rather ambitious person, but I also have like a deep heart. Like, I care a lot for people. So for relations, for me, I might try to find someone who's ambitious as well, or a business minded like person, or someone who's just as like loving for people, like a people kind of, not necessarily a people's person, but someone, just find someone with like mind is what I'm saying essentially. With your friends, try not to cut all ties with toxic people, dude. Like, for real. Even if your girlfriend, bro, you love her, dude, you know that shit's toxic. I'm not gonna lie. Cut her, because it's just gonna hurt you in the long run, bro. Like, no distractions. Now, having a girlfriend can be an amazing thing if she's helping you and y'all are like-minded. Now that goes back to the like-mindedness and whatnot. But try to cut ties with toxic people. They're just gonna distract you from the end goal, whether that be whatever you want to achieve in life, whether that be you being a designer, being a doctor, maybe just trying to spread a message like what I'm trying to do. So anything of that, try to cut all distractions. Distractions could even be little things, like for me, example, sometimes I struggle with certain things, like maybe vaping, things of that nature. So that could also be a distraction. Partying is a distraction. Even bad food's a distraction. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're just going about your day-by-day life. Me personally, I mean, I'm hypocritical for saying this stuff, but also I'm not a perfect person, and nor will I ever be. But this advice is just genuinely me trying to help everyone that I can. And yes, I do probably need to start taking my own advice more. So always, also, one of the things to master your habits that I already mentioned, I won't go on about much more, but always make sure that you are rewarding your wins. Make sure you're providing yourself with that good, valuable dopamine, not short-term bad dopamine. Always make sure it is a good source of dopamine. So first transformations, uncomfortable. Your first transformation will always be the most uncomfortable, just like going to the gym. That first 30 days is going to be the worst. You might not like it. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to suck. Trust. Getting on a diet's uncomfortable. Studying, it could be uncomfortable. I don't like it. It's tedious. I was never one to necessarily like school. So things of that nature. But always remember, when you feel uncomfortable, that's just the old version of you fighting off that new you. So always uncomfortable. Every time you're uncomfortable, that's just disciplining yourself more as a human being to become the best version of ourselves. So try to stay uncomfortable as much as possible. That is literally your old self fighting off the person that you're trying to become. The more you're uncomfortable, the more you're going to become the person that you want to be. And the faster you're going to achieve your life goals. So keep that in mind throughout your day-to-day life, guys. That's just the old you fighting. Now, I want to end this off with, after all the neuroplasticity and everything of that nature, the mastering your habits and doing things of that nature, how to do that, changing your identity, everything that I've talked about, whether that be distractions, the cues, whether that be rewarding your wins, I want to leave it off with this thing that I do have written down. So your brain is the most complex and powerful machine literally in the world. Your brain is kind of like a computer almost, I would say. So with that being said, you have the power to reprogram the machine in your mind any way that you want. And it all starts with a simple thought. And once you make that thought in action, you can and you will become anything and whoever you want. And this is how I changed my identity, and that is how you can change yours if you take my advice. My name is Caston Smith. I am currently a freshman psychology student at the University of Arkansas, Fort Smith. I do not know a whole lot yet. I lost 100 pounds. I've had some struggles. If you look back on one of my other videos, I kind of have go in a little bit about my life story, but this is essentially going to be me trying to give you motivation and life advice, but also kind of keeping some science and psychology into the mix. So it's been Caston Smith. Thank you for watching my video. I hope this helps someone. I love everybody. God bless.